A young couple tries to leave their home, but suddenly every door, every window is blocked by a terrifying black wall. No phone signals, no escape, and the neighbors? Trapped too. Something is watching them, and it's getting closer. A young couple named Olivia and Tim. Something was slowly destroying their relationship, and neither of them was happy. One day, Olivia told Tim, "I'm going to France to start a new life. If you don't want to come with me, I'll go alone." But as soon as she tried to open the door, she saw that a strange black wall was blocking the way. The wall looked very strong. Tim checked the doorbell CCTV camera, but its screen had also turned completely black. They checked the window, and the same black wall was visible there too. Olivia tried calling, but her phone had no signal at all, and even the Wi-Fi had stopped working. Tim kept shouting for help, but nothing happened. Then both of them started searching for a phone signal. That's when Tim noticed something strange. The phone behaved oddly whenever he brought it close to the black wall. As he moved the phone nearer, the screen began to glitch. They even tried using a drill machine to make a hole in the wall, but it had no effect at all. When they tried drilling into the normal walls of the house, they realized that those walls were also covered by the same black layer. Just then, they heard some noises coming from the flat next door, the one attached to their bedroom. Tim and Olivia drilled a small hole to look, and they saw Marvin and Anna. They were trapped just like Tim and Olivia. The black walls had surrounded their apartment too. Their phones weren't working either, and no one had any idea what was happening. Anna started crying, fearing they were all going to die. Tim went to check the kitchen and discovered that they didn't even have water. Seeing Olivia panic, Tim tried to reassure her, saying there had to be some kind of solution. "It's just like in video games," he began, but Olivia cut him off. "This is not a video game. Yesterday, I was telling you we should leave this place. We should have gone." A while ago, Olivia had suffered a miscarriage. That incident had completely broken both of them. This was the main reason Olivia wanted to go to France to start a new life. But how could Tim suddenly leave his job? Annoyed and frustrated, he threw his phone at the black wall. That's when he noticed something strange. A part of his phone got stuck to the wall. He pulled it off, but it stuck again the moment he let go. Just then, Olivia came in with a cup of coffee, ready to apologize. The two of them began throwing iron objects at the wall, and that's when they realized the wall was magnetic. Olivia quickly placed a lot of metal objects around the room. Suddenly, the wall started shaking, and all the metal objects shot toward them like bullets. Tim jumped in front of Olivia to protect her, and several sharp pieces pierced his waist. Olivia carefully removed each piece from his body, and they both sat down to catch their breath. Suddenly, they heard Anna screaming. They looked through the drilled hole into the neighbor's flat and saw the entire room in chaos, as if a fight had taken place. After that, everything went silent. Worried, Tim and Olivia made a bigger hole and entered Anna's apartment. Tim picked up a baseball bat and began searching. Soon, he spotted bloodstains on the carpet. They found Anna unconscious. Olivia was about to take her to the bedroom when Marvin suddenly attacked Tim. He jumped at him and tried to choke him with a stick. Olivia rushed in and sprayed pepper spray into Marvin's eyes. Tim punched Marvin twice, but Anna ran in and stopped them, protecting her boyfriend. Anna explained that Marvin was only trying to break the wall and accidentally hit her, but Tim and Olivia didn't believe her, so they tied Marvin's hands. Tim then walked toward a door in the flat that had a sign saying no entry. Tim pushed hard, trying to open the door. Inside, he saw colorful lights, but he didn't notice that something on the wall behind him was moving. When Olivia came to help him, she noticed some cameras and an axe inside the room. Tim grabbed the axe and tried to break the wall again, but it still didn't work. Marvin soon regained consciousness, but he didn't remember anything. After Anna explained everything, he apologized to everyone. He had panicked and taken too many of his pills, which made him violent. At that moment, Olivia got an idea. She drew a picture of the building on the wall and said, "Look, this building is centuries old. There might be an old war shelter in the basement that connects directly to the train station. If we want to escape, that might be our only way." Tim immediately started breaking the floor, and everyone felt relieved when they saw that the floor didn't have any black wall under it. After digging for a long time, they made a big enough hole for all of them to climb down. Tim went down first using a rope, but suddenly Mr. Oswald pointed a gun at him. Tim tried to explain that he wasn't there to rob anyone, but Oswald wouldn't listen. Then Oswald's granddaughter came and calmed him down, saying, "We're all going to die in a few days anyway. We don't have much food or water. If we don't cooperate with others, we'll never escape." Soon the rest of the group climbed down too, and Tim removed the tape from Marvin's hands. Marvin immediately started digging the floor below them. Meanwhile, Leah was frustrated because she couldn't send a single message from her phone. Leah told Olivia that at 4 a.m., when she went to the bathroom, she had seen the black wall for the first time. Tim also noticed something strange inside the smoke detector. When he opened it, he found a hidden camera. He asked Oswald about it, but Oswald said he had no idea. He explained that the smoke detectors were installed by Fredman, the owner of their building. For the past 2 weeks, the entire building had been covered in a black cloth because Fredman claimed some repair work was going on. When they checked the smoke detector in the kitchen, they found another camera. This meant Fredman had been watching them for a long time. Then Leah mentioned that Fredman's flat was right next to theirs, sharing the same bedroom wall. Everyone worked together and created a large hole in that wall, entering Fredman's apartment. apartment. Inside, they found many expensive items. After searching a little more, they discovered Fredman's dead body lying on the floor. Both of his hands were missing. Seeing this, Olivia panicked badly. Tim tried to calm her down, but she ran away in fear. When Tim checked Fredman's phone, he found a photo of the black wall. The group then began digging through the floor to reach the next flat. Tim asked Mr. Oswald if he had ever heard any strange noises coming from Fredman's apartment. Oswald nervously said he hadn't heard anything. Right after that, he quickly took some of his medicines. Olivia looked at an old newspaper and said, "Could all of this be connected to the fire at the harbor? Just last evening, we saw thick black smoke in the sky. Even 2 helicopters were flying toward that side, as if it was a big emergency." Tim disagreed, saying the harbor was far from their building. Suddenly, part of the floor collapsed, and Tim, Marvin, and Anna fell to the lower floor. Olivia rushed down with a ladder and immediately checked on Tim. Tim was badly injured, but still conscious. Oswald got scared, worried that if he climbed down, he might get hurt too, but Leah insisted, saying she wouldn't go without him. Everyone helped lower Oswald and his oxygen cylinder to the next floor. In this apartment, they met Yuri, who was a friend of Anton, the owner of the flat. Yuri told them that Anton had suffered a heart attack and died, and he believed the magnetic walls were the reason behind it. Leah noticed some strange papers in Anton's room and began to feel suspicious. Yuri suggested that maybe something dangerous was happening outside, and the government had installed these black walls to protect them. He said they should stay inside for their own safety, but no one listened, and everyone continued digging the floor. Leah started examining the papers. Yuri told her that Anton's heart attack happened because he was stressed about whatever was written on those papers. He had become obsessed with it. As soon as Leah walked away, Yuri secretly crushed the papers in his hands. After some time, the group managed to break through the floor and finally reached the basement. They opened an old door, walked through a long corridor, and reached another room. There they found an exit door, but it had been completely sealed shut. They assumed this must be the passage connected to the war shelter. Yuri stayed upstairs, watching everything from above. Olivia broke the seal and pushed the door open, but behind it was the same black wall again. The moment Marvin saw it, he lost control and started punching the wall in frustration. Mr. Oswald immediately pulled out his gun, pointed it at Marvin, and ordered him to calm down. But Marvin grabbed Oswald's gun and started firing at the wall again and again. Everyone was shocked to see the bullets stop in midair because of the magnetic field. Tim had already witnessed this in his own flat earlier, so he immediately told everyone to duck, knowing the bullets would bounce back. But Mr. Oswald, being old, couldn't bend down in time, and the bullets struck him, killing him instantly. Leah broke down, crying uncontrollably. After this, the group returned to the flat. Anna said that they were all trapped here for a reason. She told them that when she was 15, she had a bicycle accident and was dead for 2 minutes. She asked if anything similar had happened to anyone else. Leah revealed that her mother had died of cancer. Yuri said that when he was a police officer, he had accidentally shot someone. Marvin kept apologizing, blaming himself for Oswald's death. Tim didn't want to bring up his own past, but Olivia ended up telling everyone about her miscarriage. Tim got angry and walked into another room. Olivia followed him, and they started arguing loudly. Olivia said, "We're all going to die soon anyway, so what difference does it make now?" Tim shouted back. Everyone could hear their fight. Tim said, "You want me to just quit my job overnight?" Olivia replied, "Ever since the miscarriage, you haven't talked to me properly. How is that my fault? And whenever I try to share something, you're busy on your computer. I've had to carry all this pain alone. You don't know how lonely I've become." With that, she walked out of the room. A little later, Tim gathered everyone and went to Fredman's room to look for clues. Leah felt she should check Anton's notes again, but Yuri insisted that he had already read all of them. Everyone split up to search for different clues. Ignoring Yuri, Leah began reading Anton's papers anyway. She found a sheet showing 4 marked spots, and Olivia noticed the same thing. They also found Anton's business card and learned he worked for Nano Defense. The black wall looked exactly like something made from nanobots. Yuri said Anton was a programmer, but he didn't know much about his job. Inside the drawer, Olivia and Leah also found a broken phone and laptop. Yuri explained that Anton had destroyed them out of frustration. Meanwhile, in Fredman's flat, Tim noticed that one of the rooms was smaller than the rooms in other apartments. He tapped on the wall and realized it was completely hollow. Then Marvin found a remote control that seemed to operate the sensor hidden in the wall. Now they only needed the password. Tim used his brain. He blew dust onto the remote, which revealed the buttons that had been pressed before. This made guessing the password much easier. On the other side, Olivia and Leah were examining Anton's torn papers and found a piece containing a word code. Suddenly, Yuri started laughing loudly. He said that opening this wall could allow deadly radiation to enter. Their conversation was interrupted when Anna rushed in and said, "We found something, come quickly." After a few attempts, Tim successfully decoded the password and the hidden door opened. Inside, they discovered computers showing footage of all the CCTV cameras. Tim checked the CCTV footage and saw how the black clouds suddenly formed a solid wall. Then they found Anton's body in the footage, but it wasn't located where Yuri had said it was. Before Olivia could question him, Yuri had already slipped away. Marvin went after him to look for him. Meanwhile, Leah checked Anton's body more closely and noticed deep blue marks on his neck. Just then, Yuri suddenly appeared behind her. In the computer room, Tim found a video recorded just before Anton's death. The frame looked empty at first, but they noticed the lights flickering behind him, meaning Anton was trying to open the black wall. Then the truth appeared on screen. Yuri strangled Anton to death. When Marvin entered Anton's room, he saw Yuri burning papers and Leah's dead body lying on the floor. Yuri walked toward Marvin holding the burning papers and said, "These walls are here for our protection." At that moment, Tim arrived with Oswald's gun and saw Yuri strangling Marvin. Yuri dropped Marvin and tried to snatch the gun from Tim. Marvin, whose head was already injured from the fall, collapsed again. Yuri also overpowered Tim and tried to kill him, but Marvin regained strength and attacked Yuri, knocking him unconscious. Marvin grabbed the gun and was about to shoot him, but Olivia rushed in and stopped him, saying, "He's the only one who knows how to open the black wall." Yuri tried to attack again, but this time Tim knocked him out completely. When Tim searched Yuri's bag, he found books filled with strange theories. Olivia told everyone that Yuri might have killed Leah because she had figured out how to escape, just like Anton. Anna quickly went back to checking the cameras. Meanwhile, Tim and Olivia started collecting the half-burnt papers, hoping to find some clue. The bricks on the black wall were all different shapes, but none of it made any sense at first. Then their eyes fell on another charred paper. It explained a strange pattern. Tim realized that Anton must have decoded this before he died. At the same time, Olivia showed him a card she found earlier, an address at the harbor, the same place where the fire had started. Everyone gathered around Yuri and began trying to wake him up. When he refused to talk, Marvin punched him hard. Tim fired a warning shot that grazed Yuri's shoulder and hit the furniture. For a moment, Yuri couldn't hear anything. Then he finally spoke. He said the wall was part of a defense system and that it activated because of the fire at the harbor. Marvin didn't believe a word and started beating Yuri again. Tim pulled Marvin away. Just then, Anna found something on the computer. She discovered that Anton had created an app on his phone, an app that scanned the bricks and turned them into a QR code. To open the wall, you had to press 4 specific spots using light. Olivia brought the broken phone she had found earlier. Tim extracted the data from it and rebuilt the app, then installed it on a working phone. All of them rushed back to their apartment and stood in front of the black wall. The app displayed 4 glowing points. Tim pressed them one by one. As soon as Tim pressed the 4 points, the bricks began to melt into a liquid-like substance. Anna touched it with her finger, and it instantly got stuck. She pushed her whole hand inside and said, "It's warm and something is moving in there." Yuri kept shouting that it was dangerous, but Marvin slapped him and yelled at Anna to pull her hand out quickly. But Anna couldn't. The nanobots had gripped her arm and then her leg. Everyone rushed to pull her back, but the wall had already started turning solid again. They pulled with all their strength, but it was too late. The wall closed completely. Marvin ran to her, but Anna was gone. Half of her body had disappeared. She was dead. That's when they all realized what must have happened to Fredman too. Yuri began laughing, saying they would never escape. Enraged, Marvin shot him. A few moments later, Marvin himself collapsed and died from his. Shaken, Tim apologized to Olivia. He said, "Something broke inside me the day we lost the baby, and I don't know how to fix it." Olivia hugged him tightly, and they finally expressed their love for each other. Later, Tim tried using the app again. He wondered if he had pressed the sequence in the wrong order. Olivia noticed that each button flashed a different number of times. They replayed the old footage, trying to figure out the exact order Anton had used. Suddenly, Yuri regained consciousness. As they were trying again, Yuri headbutted Tim. Then he lunged toward Olivia. She stepped back in fear and fell straight into the hole. Tim kicked Yuri to save Olivia, and both of them fell down through the opening. Tim immediately jumped after them and landed on the lower floor. They sprinted through the basement corridor, rushed into a room, and slammed the door shut behind them. Tim held the door tightly, trying to keep Yuri from breaking in. Meanwhile, Olivia used the app to scan the wall, but Yuri managed to force his way inside and grabbed Tim by the throat. At that exact moment, the app finally worked and the black bricks started opening. Even then, Tim and Yuri were still fighting. Tim shouted at Olivia to climb through quickly because the wall was already starting to close again, but she refused to leave him. When Yuri tried to stab Tim, Olivia struck Yuri on the head, knocking him down. Tim and Olivia finally crossed through the last opening. Outside, they froze in shock. The entire city was covered in those same black walls, stretching endlessly in every direction. They ran to their van, climbed in, and drove away, searching for any place where those black walls might finally end.